You might think the most dangerous dogs are simply the biggest ones. But the truth is, danger often comes from purpose. Some breeds were designed to guard. And when you give a dog the strength of a heavyweight athlete combined with the loyalty of a soldier, you get an animal that demands respect. Take the Rottweiler. Originally bred to drive cattle and guard stock, these dogs weigh anywhere from 80 to 130 pounds, all muscle. Their bite has been measured at over 300 pounds of pressure, strong enough to snap bone. When they're trained well, they're calm and protective. But if they're neglected, their territorial instinct can flip into aggression, and you suddenly have a living wall of muscle that doesn't want to let you pass. Then there's the Doberman Pinscher, created in the late 1800s by a German tax collector named Carl Friedrich Dobermann. They were literally engineered for protection. Sleek, fast, and tuned to react instantly, a Doberman can sprint at nearly 30 miles per hour. What makes them dangerous isn't just speed, it's their intensity. If they think their family is threatened, they won't hesitate. And of course, the German Shepherd. Smart, versatile, and courageous. They became the world's go-to police and military dog for a reason. Their intelligence means they can learn almost anything. But that same brain turns destructive if you leave them bored. Combine that with a bite force rivaling a wolf's, and you're looking at a protector that can become a problem if mishandled. It isn't myth that makes these dogs dangerous. It's training, or the lack of it. A Rottweiler raised with rules is a guardian. A Doberman socialized early is a partner. A German Shepherd worked daily is a teammate. But remove the structure, and you're left with raw power driven by instinct. And if that power alone is intimidating, wait until you see what happens when you add sheer size into the mix. Raw power is one thing, but when you multiply that power by pure size, you enter a whole new category of risk. Some of the largest dog breeds in history were never meant to be aggressive, yet their massive frames make them capable of damage most people underestimate. Consider the Mastiff. This ancient guardian breed has been around for thousands of years, once standing guard for castles and estates. A full-grown Mastiff can tip the scales at over 200 pounds, with some giants exceeding 250. That's the weight of a motorcycle, carried on 4 legs with surprising speed. While Mastiffs are typically calm and loyal, if they charge or knock someone over, intentionally or not, the results can be devastating. Their sheer bulk means even playtime can turn dangerous without careful handling. Now look at the Great Dane. Known as the Apollo of dogs, these towering giants can reach 32 inches at the shoulder and stand taller than most people when on 2 legs. Bred to hunt wild boar, they carry an athletic drive beneath their gentle giant image. Unfortunately, accidents happen. A Dane leaning on a child or pulling hard on a leash can cause injuries simply because of their size and strength. And if startled or provoked, that same power can turn serious. Then there's the St. Bernard, famous for rescue work in the Swiss Alps. These dogs were bred to trek through snow carrying packs heavier than some humans could lift. A male can weigh up to 180 pounds, with a head broad enough to engulf an adult's arm in its jaws. While generally friendly, Saints can become protective of their families. And with that much weight behind a warning bite, the consequences are serious. People often ask about bite force numbers, but here's the reality. Most of the so-called charts floating online aren't based on reliable tests. What matters more than an exact number is outcome. And when you're dealing with an animal this big, almost any bite or knockdown can be catastrophic. So far, we've looked at guardians and giants. But danger doesn't just come from size or strength. Some dogs were bred for a very different purpose, fighting. And that history leaves marks we can still see today. Size and strength make dogs powerful, but some breeds carry another layer of danger, history. For centuries, humans bred certain dogs for fighting, whether in pits, rings, or arenas. That purpose built traits like determination, stamina, and high pain tolerance. In the wrong hands, those traits can become explosive. Take the pit bull, type dogs. The American Pit Bull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier, and Staffordshire Bull Terrier were originally developed for bull baiting and later dog fighting. What set them apart wasn't wild aggression, it was sheer persistence. Once they committed to a task, they didn't back down. In a loving home, that same persistence can translate into playfulness, agility, or even therapy work. But without guidance, their determination combined with muscular build makes them dangerous, especially in fights with other animals. The American Bulldog shares a similar story. Bred as a catch dog for livestock, it was designed to hold massive animals like cattle or wild hogs. A male can weigh 100 pounds of dense muscle, with jaws able to clamp down and not let go. When properly trained, they're loyal guardians. When ignored or under-socialized, their prey drive and territorial instinct can make them unpredictable. Then there's the Bull Terrier, instantly recognizable with its egg-shaped head. Don't let the unique appearance fool you. These dogs were once bred for dog sports that demanded intensity. Their compact bodies are built for explosive strength, and their tenacity makes them difficult to stop once they've decided to act. It's important to point out something many people overlook. Breed alone doesn't dictate behavior. Studies show that environment, socialization, and ownership practices weigh heavily on whether these dogs ever become dangerous. Yet the fighting past of these breeds means they come with traits that require extra responsibility. And if history has shaped danger in these breeds, what about dogs whose instincts for the hunt never went away? History doesn't just linger in fighting breeds. It lives in hunting dogs too. Many of today's most popular companions were once bred to track, chase, and bring down prey. Even after centuries of domestication, those instincts haven't disappeared. And when they show up in a modern household, the results can be unpredictable. Take the Siberian Husky. Known for their striking blue eyes and wolf-like looks, Huskies were bred to pull sleds across miles of frozen tundra. That endurance comes with incredible drive and energy. But Huskies also have a powerful prey instinct. Stories of them chasing cats, rabbits, or even small livestock are common. Their escape skills only make matters worse. Huskies are expert climbers, diggers, and jumpers. Once they're loose, their chase instinct can take over, and you'll have little chance of calling them back without extensive training. The Alaskan Malamute shares a similar story. Larger and stronger than the Husky, Malamutes were bred to haul heavy loads. They're powerful, stubborn, and deeply independent. While affectionate with their families, Malamutes are known to guard food or possessions fiercely. In a household without boundaries, this can turn into resource guarding, a dangerous scenario when a dog weighing over 100 pounds decides it won't share. Then there are wolf-dog hybrids. These aren't a true breed, but rather crosses between wolves and domestic dogs. Their behavior can vary wildly depending on the percentage of wolf in their lineage. While they may look stunning, wolf dogs are notoriously difficult to manage. They often retain the wolf's natural fear of humans and a strong flight or fight response. This makes them unpredictable, especially under stress. Inexperienced owners may see loyalty where there's actually skittishness, and that misunderstanding can lead to dangerous encounters. The challenge with hunting breeds is that their instincts were designed for survival, not the living room. A husky doesn't chase because it's mean. It chases because that's what it was bred to do. A Malamute doesn't guard because it's spiteful. It guards because guarding resources once meant survival. When you ignore those instincts, danger rises. And if hunters can surprise you, wait until you meet the dogs whose sheer strength and protective instincts demand absolute respect. By now, you've seen how power, size, fighting history, and hunting instincts can create risk. But there's one more group of dogs that stand out. Those whose loyalty and protectiveness can turn dangerous if not guided. These breeds don't look for trouble, but if they think their family is threatened, they'll meet danger head-on. The Cane Corso is a prime example. Originating in Italy, they were bred to guard property and even hunt large game. A mature Corso can weigh over 100 pounds, with jaws strong enough to break bones. What makes them risky isn't wild aggression. It's their unwavering drive to protect. In the wrong hands, that drive can turn into suspicion of strangers, and with their strength, even a single mistake can have serious consequences. Then there's the Akita. Bred in Japan as a hunting and guarding dog, the Akita is powerful, independent, and highly protective of its family. They're known to be reserved around strangers and often intolerant of other dogs. Without early socialization, their natural suspicion can lead to aggression, especially if they feel their territory is being invaded. The Chow Chow may look like a fluffy teddy bear, but they were originally bred in China for guarding and hunting. Chows are naturally aloof and can be very protective. Their dense coat hides a muscular frame, and their strong bite can cause serious injury if they decide to act. Their independence makes training a challenge, so without structure, they can become unpredictable. These breeds show a simple truth. Power isn't inherently dangerous, but mishandling it is. A Cane Corso trained with calm authority is a guardian. An Akita properly socialized is a dignified companion. A Chow Chow guided with patience is loyal and steady. But without that guidance, you're left with strength and instinct that can turn risky in an instant. So when people ask which dog breeds are the most dangerous, the real answer is this. The most dangerous dog is the one whose power isn't respected.